Yeah, it's a complete and utter mess, but it's okay. We'll get there. I forgot my system has changed so much since the last time we recorded, or what do you call it? Or no, the recording's fine. It's just the yeah, I do. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. But the layout, it's the layout at this end. I am recording now, so that we don't miss anything, because I'll forget otherwise. I need to make sure you guys are coming through, actually. No, you're not. See, this is why it's good for me to check these things. Right, where does that go? Right, you should go there, and that should then go there. Okay, one at a time. Drew?
Hello, my name
is Michael Caine. Do it again.
Bonjour.
Right, okay.
Andre.
Mm. And Mr. Chris.
Hello, my name is Chris. I am here today.
Yeah. You're cool.
To welcome you all to...
What star sign are you, Chris?
I'm going to have to edit this one, aren't I? Because we've so much faff at the beginning. Or is it?
What's your birthday, Chris? Oh, you're January, aren't you? So we're the same. Capricorn is interesting in that it's the only one that doesn't exist, that isn't a real thing.
Isn't a real thing?
Yeah.
I've seen it in the sky. It is real.
I'm a Capricorn.
But it's a goat with a fish tail. Everything else in the zodiac is like an actual thing.
Yeah, I'm an archer.
Okay, right. I'm doing a little recording, but I've not got any of the faff.
Yeah, and you missed all the exciting faff. So, as far as I can tell, we're all coming through loud and clear. And it's recorded. I might cut it off, or I might just be lazy and throw it together. Yeah, because we don't have any titles or anything on this one, do we? So it's fine.
No, but we could sing an intro, couldn't we?
An intro.
There we go.
Does it? Okay. Who? Okay. Try to hum the Expanse theme tune. Do you have any recollection of how it goes?
Oh. It's in Norwegian.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it in Norwegian?
That's what the subtitles say.
Does it say Norwegian humming?
Norwegian humming.
It says something like that, yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, hello everybody. It's been a while because we've all been faffing and messing about and life and things. And now there's a very rough final video of the original Space Virgins. There will be more things coming, but this is the final one of the original Space Virgins.
Honestly, this episode is the thing that's holding us back from our true potential.
Possibly.
Yes, it really is.
I'm going to have
like
to
the
also
Space
open
Virgins
a browser,
Literary Society.
I need to open a browser so I can see what the fuck all the last... Because I forgot to... So I'm going to look at the Expanse.
Do we need to remind the audience what the Expanse is? Because it's a TV show from a very long time ago now.
It's no longer available. You can't even get it.
It doesn't exist anymore.
No. It's all gone. We have kind of got to partway through Series 6. I think we only just started it. And yeah, so we're basically just gonna talk about Series 6 as a whole thing.
Yeah.
Even though we did chat about episode 1, I think, and we might have chatted about 2. But definitely the last few episodes we hadn't touched yet. So we're just gonna kind of ramble.
It's funny, isn't it? Because like season 6 of The Expanse is still better than most other TV.
Yeah,
but because it's so much worse than what came before, it feels really.
It's a bit of a letdown. Yeah, it feels that way.
See, I feel super complicated about this because now the thing I don't feel complicated about is they should have ended at the end of Series 3.
I agree. I agree.
Would have been an amazing endpoint when they, because you had The Expanse, you had this.
Yeah.
This like, anything's possible now. It's the future.
Yeah, but how much are we saying that with the knowledge of?
Yeah.
Because if it had ended there, we'd probably be like, I really want to see what's through the gate. We only don't want to see that because we've seen
I try and have this rule.
And it's a quarry in Wales, as they say. Well, it's actually quarry
but I always
Canada.
I always try and have this rule that if I feel like that, then the show's good. Like that's
I know. Yeah.
Like
up to a point. Yeah.
Firefly. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, should have got a second season." Nah, one season was great. It was all right. It was one. It ran. It did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
If it leaves you wanting more, I mean, I like binge. I like having long things to watch that I can just watch endlessly. And if I like something, I just want more of it, even if it's getting worse.
Yeah.
What about One Piece?
What's that?
But as an art, but looking at it more objectively as a piece of art, yes. If it ended on season 3, it would have been essentially perfect. Yeah.
Yes, but what about? Do you know One Piece? That people talk about?
I know of it.
It's got over 1,000 episodes.
Oh, is it a manga?
It's very anime. It's
an anime.
Yeah. Fuck off.
All I know about it is that it's got over 1,000 episodes. I thought, a lot of people are talking about this. Should I give it a look? 1,000 episodes? No fucking way.
On that basis, I should go for Coronation Street.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. The next Space Virgins do Coronation Street.
My niece, she's, what is she, like 20 or something? 19, 20.
I don't know, because we've not spoken to each other for a while. She could be 20 by now.
Actually, 19 in December. Anyway, she watches a lot of Coronation Street, and she digs up, like, her main thing to watch, what she does most of the time is watching Coronation Street, and she tries to dig up the oldest episodes she can find. Like, she'll find really old episodes on YouTube and just watch them.
But surely once they're out of order, none of it matters.
She is your niece, isn't she?
Soap opera,
yeah. There's some shared genes there. Yeah.
For sure. Remember, I can't remember when it was now, but a while back I said that I had kind of an admission and a weird thing to tell you, Chris.
Okay, yeah.
And I thought I'll save it for on camera so that other people can be amused at my idiocy. I mean, it's not idiocy, but my weird brain. Okay, here we go. Right. Now, I remember not long ago you were talking about, I think it might have been one of the shows we've done in between the last of this and now you were talking about Rosie, and she had, and I realised that from what you were saying, she had some sort of techie computer type job.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, data type. Yeah, some sort of admin data type. I don't know where I got this, although I thought about it, and then I realised where I got it, but now I can't remember. So this might have I'll have to go through this again. For some reason, I had it in my head that Rosie was a model of some sort.
Oh.
I don't know why. I did sort of think about it through and thought, I know where I've got that from. Actually, no, I've got it again, yeah. And it's because she's tall, she's very pretty, she's tall, she's photogenic, because there's like some pictures that I realise now they weren't professional, it's a friend of hers that took these pictures, but in my head, I thought, there was a portfolio of pictures or something. That was in the back of my head, and I thought, she's some sort of model, is that right? You know, like a nothing, I don't mean like... like a supermodel with one name. It's not just Rosie, but I thought like she modelled
more like porn, more like the disgusting porn that they won't even allow on Peer. What's it called? PeerTube,
yeah. Well, anything on PeerTube, depending on when your server is. You might not get federated, but. You might get prosecuted. No, but I had it in my head because she had those pictures, and she was using one of them as a profile picture, and there was a couple of them, maybe 2 or 3, and I just remember in my head that was like some sort of professional thing, and then I found out she was tall, and that made me think, model as well. You see. And I put it all together in the back of my head. I put it all together and created an entirely different life for Rosie. And then you tell me data. And then she's models data. Then you tell me she's some sort of nerd. And I was like, okay, that was completely wrong then.
Oops. Now, sorry, I just remembered my next thing that I was going to say, which is a bit. Not related, but actually, in the hindsight of the final 3 series, Series 4 was actually kind of my favourite.
I've forgotten which one's which.
Wait. Of those last three, season 4 was your favourite.
Yeah.
Which is
the
the
quarry.
Yeah.
And the reasons is because there was still some mystery with the alien stuff.
Yeah.
There was.
Murtry,
half of it they just dropped. That's what's annoying.
Yeah,
about
they
it.
did drop, but they dropped more of it later.
Yes.
Murtry was actually a decently good character, well acted, all things considered.
Well, the show's never had a problem with actors, though. The show's never had a problem with good actors. Well, except one that
I thought that in the last series, Marco Inaris was, I don't know, he didn't leave the impression on me.
It's not a bad performance, it's just not a performance that fits right in the show for me. It's too pantomime.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you're saying, yeah. I think he worked with what he had and did a good job. Yeah, Philip was an arsehole all along. But
Mm-hmm.
but like Murtry was like, I mean, he was also a pantomime villain of sorts, but like, I don't know, he left a mark, like...
With personality there, he sort of...
Yeah.
I do get it. I feel like... I think that was a good season of TV, but it felt like a different show, I think.
It did. It felt like a totally different show,
the promise of going through the rings at the end of season 3, and you're very excited for it, and then, it's a quarry, and we're...
Even they were talking about other things that they just never shown. It seems like...
Yeah.
Well, of course, that was when the show was cancelled and moved somewhere else, and it's like... But you think for the opening things that they did, they might have given them a bigger budget?
Do you think Amazon just did a worse job than Sci-Fi or whoever it was on? Do you
think
might
they
be
right there. It might just be that.
Is it the nature of the books changing? Once the gates open, like the stuff leading up to the gates is inherently, and the Eros stuff, like all the stuff with Detective Man. I've forgotten the names. It's been so long.
I know.
Like all that
Miller,
just so good.
What would have been?
It's such a high bar to try and.
What they should have done is they should have blew up the ring, and then like the rest of the series is still trying to try again.
Well, let's not rewrite the whole thing,
Or something about the state. Like they had a station. What was happening with the station in the middle of the rings? That was the most interesting thing in the universe. And they weren't talking about it. Not a passing.
That's another, because the season 1, 2, 3, it's leading up to like what's happening with the proton molecule. What the fuck is this thing on Venus doing? What the fuck is it building? Like it's all, and the answers were always interesting. Like, oh, it's a fucking space octopus. Oh, it's turning itself into a ring. That was always interesting. Whereas the station had a ton of potential in that. What's happening on the station, and I couldn't really tell you what's happening on the station. The answer wasn't interesting or. Big,
no, they mentioned it, but they never covered it really beyond.
There wasn't a lot of coverage of it, or a lot of vision of it. No.
I think they mentioned that like the Outer Planetary Alliance had taken control of it or something at some point.
But the OPA controlled it because it was what used to be the Naboo.
No, not the center of the ring space. The station where Miller takes.
Oh, you mean the one right in the middle of the sphere? Sorry, I thought you meant but the OPA only took control of the outside of it and set up.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we never saw.
It's all even if you watch that back, the whole thing's as vague as it seems to us now. It doesn't really matter that we've not seen it for a while. That is as vague as the actual storyline is. Yeah,
and also.
Railguns. That's what they put on there.
Yeah, and also the end where Stephen Strait, what's his name?
I know it's getting there. And we're like, oh my god.
Holden. That's it. He what a dumb thing to do at the end.
It makes more sense on paper than it does on the way they portrayed it. It was kind of a rushed end.
What's the dumb thing?
So basically, they've got this body. They've got this like stateless organization that is going to police the rings, and it's not going to be Earth or Mars or the OPA. It's going to be a completely independent thing, and then they have Holden is like the chairman of it, and then Kamina Drummer is like second in command. So they've got
Yeah.
they've got this Earth guy, and then they've got this, like it's this tenuous truce. And then the first thing he does in his opening speech is like, actually, I'm going to resign. Drummer's going to be in charge. Goodbye, everybody. I'm out of here. And it's like, no, the entire premise of this very delicate diplomacy rests on like this having a decent launch, right? Take all your leads from Drummer, right, or whatever, but just phase something out over time. But fuck's sake, you got to this pivotal diplomatic point, and then you're going to be like, you signed the papers, fuck you all. And you just risk throwing the world system into another war.
I see what you're saying, but I totally disagree. I think it was like Drummer is good. She's a good leader, and I think it was the outer planets or whatever you want to call them, the Belters. They deserve a shot at being in control. Like it was.
Yes, and I'm not saying don't let them be in control. I'm just saying you need that figurehead.
But yeah, no, they could have pretended he could have just buggered off and did what he wanted and left her in charge, and then eventually by de facto, she would have de facto been in charge anyway, and they could have. But I kind of agree with you both, in as much as I think the belt needed that.
Yeah,
yeah. The only argument
but
I can
Earth and Mars
see
couldn't cope with it, so they could have. It might have led to more conflict anyway, and
it might have, because the big argument against it is that the OPA wouldn't have stuck with it. All it would have taken is one rogue faction to have.
For me, it's more just that,
it's not the OPA though; it's Drummer.
The inner planets. The inner planets have been guiding things for so long, and the Belters have always been oppressed and exploited. This is the only way that in reality that you can guarantee that won't happen, and also to reassure the Belters that
it doesn't guarantee that won't happen, though.
It's as close as you can get to a guarantee. Like a Belter being in charge of it is as close as you can get. Also, Holden was very clear that he didn't want it. He was super clear that he didn't want it. He never seemed like he wanted it, and then him pulling that move. I really like. I do see your point.
It doesn't but the thing is. I don't think the principles are secondary to what actually is going to happen, right? It's no good doing the principled thing if it's all going to fall to shit and you're going to go back into war, right? I
think the risk of war really comes from the Belters, the Belter factions. I think the outer planets are pretty much on board with this new future. I think everybody's had the shock of what Marco and Aris did. I think was enough to sort of wake up the inners and make them understand that we can't carry on like that, basically. And the danger of conflict really comes from the Belter factions. I think.
I mean, there's certainly a risk of it, but I always kind of feel like, and I'm sorry if this is some prejudices seeping through, but because of the disorganized way of the OPA, even thinking about the OPA as a single identity, there's always that risk of conflict amongst the OPA, and that conflict spilling out onto a wider level.
But the people on Earth were fighting with each other. Yeah. The people on Mars were fighting with each other. Half of the Martian side were helping the OPA. Mars was falling apart. It
is a little bit like I saw a post like this the other day, on the Fedi, a liberal going criticizing both radical, the radical left and the radical right, and saying the last thing we need is violence, as if the situation now doesn't involve a fuck ton of violence, essentially. What Gaza and just capitalism's oppression of people and exploitation of people. That. Sometimes liberals like to imagine the status quo because for them it's peaceful.
Yeah, for them
and any violence is adding violence rather than the status quo is actually incredibly fucking violent, and we want to do a little bit of violence to massively reduce the violence. I think it's a little bit akin to that.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is, at the point of where Holden stands down, right? Obviously, lots of violence, and you're coming so close to having peace
Well, when I say violence, the violence that exists there that I'm talking about really is just the exploitation of the
Belters.
the Belters, the way their lives are rife with injury and starvation and precarity like that. It's a rebalancing of that, and the inners, with all the resources and the advantages, kind of just need to fucking behave like grown-ups. You know what I mean? And this seems the point in history, sort of the imaginary history, where that is most possible because of the shock they've had.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
I mean, I absolutely see your point.
Yeah, I get what you're saying as well, but I also agree that I think in a way it's a sort of you can imagine it going either way, really. So
it pivots on how shocked the world was from Marco Inaris, right?
Yeah.
That's
because
also,
but the thing is as well is that Holden. Yes, he doesn't want it, and I don't like the trope of the best person to be in charge is the person that doesn't want to be in charge, because that always irritates me a little bit.
Yeah,
it's like,
it does,
let's get the most apathetic, lazy
as well.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
No, you want It's,
in fact, Battlestar Galactica tried to do it twice, which is more annoying.
I mean, I think what it usually translates as is you want somebody with a decent sense of civic responsibility and capability who just doesn't like being the powerful one. Like, that's the idea. Like Corbyn.
Yeah, somebody who's not in love with power, but
yeah. But
somebody who's likely to still try and do the right thing. I mean, it's the equivalent of a sort of it's not quite the phrase I mean, but it's the equivalent of a benevolent dictator when the system's already created for a dictator, and then they can undo some of the bad, if that makes sense.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So, like you say, Corbyn, although he's he definitely wasn't perfect or isn't perfect, but he probably would have helped a lot of the more decent things.
Well, the problem with Corbyn, and I think this plays into what Chris is talking about. The problem with Corbyn is he was too unwilling to use the power that he had. He wouldn't he wouldn't seize the power and use it, which is what we wanted him to do.
Well, and that's kind of what Zara Sultana's been talking about herself, isn't it? It's like and what's his name? Oh God, I forgot his name. Madani is that what I'm thinking of?
Mamdani, yeah.
Zoran Mamdani.
Don't fucking the right wing press, which is all of them, more or less, are just going to be pricks, and they're just going to try and tear you down constantly. There's no there's not like a strategy to fight back. No, just go. Yeah, it's like something Drew said a while ago. If they're going to label you something like anti-Semitic or whatever, go, yeah, okay, right, and then just move on. Just fucking move on. Yeah. Just because that's I mean that's how a lot of the right wing scumbags like Cameron dealt with the press anyway. And they got away with it. So why, it's like at the end of the day, they can all they can do is talk to you. How it comes across to people is how they've manipulated things for so long. But how it comes across to people is also within the control of the person that's been attacked.
Also, there's the thing of like, I think people in the Westminster and press bubble think that newspapers are still as powerful as they were in the 80s. Nobody fucking reads newspapers.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that the American fascist movement has learned, though, is that controlling the online space way more important. That's way more important these days, and that's why fascism has taken over the US so successfully. There's still, and the media over there. And here, for that matter, and everywhere outside of America as well, the media, the so-called democratized countries and their free presses and everything, are still acting like it's business as usual, and that I mean
that's the Chomsky. That's the Chomsky thing, though. That famous interview, Chomsky and some BBC correspondent, and the BBC correspondent's like, I don't censor myself, and Chomsky's like, yeah, no, for fuck's sake, that's not what I mean. Like, if you weren't willing to toe the line of the status quo, you wouldn't be in this position.
Yeah, you wouldn't be sitting talking to me. Yeah.
Yeah, the press is liberal. They're status quo. They don't know how to respond to anything. Really.
Yeah. So they talk about, they talk about. You see it in the news here and in American media and stuff. And the courts have taken Trump back on this, and he can't do this. And it's like, yeah, but he's just keeping doing it. People are still fucking disappearing off the streets. People are still dying in horrible conditions in their prisons. He's still blowing up boats full of fishermen and saying they were drug dealers. He's still doing it.
Yeah.
He's still doing what he wants because that's how fascists work. They don't care. So trying to fight him on the basis of the system that you've allowed him to take over is never going to work. Because you've given him the power, and he's not going to give it up because some court person, a judge says so.
No,
that's it. No. He's got his own private army, and it's the most.
That's always been the case.
It's got the best budget of all the American forces now. It's his private army, basically.
Yeah,
It's got more budget than
that's always been the
everything
case.
else.
That's always been the case on the right, and it's always been the case. It's always been the case in America. Like, if you're powerful enough, you just ignore the institutions and do what you want anyway. The problem is, like, on the liberal left, they always have they want to give the appearance of playing by the rules, and the right and liberal right never cared about that.
But there isn't really a left in America anyway, and there is basically not one here now. We're trying to claw one back, but the Overton window is
the
like
spectrum in America is right liberalism to left liberalism.
Yeah. And I mean, it cracks me up that, well, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys, but I met a friend of mine who I haven't seen for years and years. He's got a shop, and when I used to have a shop, we used to have shops next to each other, and we helped each other out and stuff. Anyway, point is that, I seen him, and it was blah, 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 and we got talking about stuff, and politics came up. And he just assumed, because that party's called the Labour Party, that I would be happy with them. He goes, well, you'd be happy with that. You must be happy with this lot. And what they do. It's like, what? No, and it occurred to me then that, and it's something I've been thinking about lately as regards America. I don't want to lose my thread there, but I want to come back to nighttime talk show host. I'll come back to that in a second. Don't let me forget that particular point, and I'll get my thread back there. But yeah, he just assumed because I was basically a lefty that somehow Labour being in power, this Labour government, I would just go, oh yeah, because it's a side. He just sees it as a side. He doesn't see it.
Be. That's how it used to be, and that's how it should.
Well, not in my adult lifetime. It's not. In my adult lifetime, it's been right.
But that's how it's supposed. That's how it's supposed to work. The Tories represent the interests of capital, and Labour represent the interests of the workers. Relatively within the status quo. But since capitalism's just understood that it can take control of all of these parties, it's all out of the window.
It's like, you just buy everybody. And, I mean, basically since Thatcher, the country's been sold bit by bit. And
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think this is one of the things that annoys me. I've come back to my thing. I'm remembering my thread. But the thing that annoys me about that is that people go, oh, well, you can't just take it back. It's like, you fucking can. You're the government. You can and it's the infrastructure of your country. So it doesn't matter who owns it on paper. If the water companies are fucking up, just say,
but
we're taking that water company back.
They don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, they don't want to.
It's all about do a few years in Parliament and then get a cushy job in a big bank or an NGO or
which is why they don't want to upset these big business companies, because then they might end up treading on the wrong toes.
The system is rotten, and the only thing that can fix it is Parliament.
Unfortunately,
Parliament is sovereign.
But Parliament is corrupt.
They don't want to. It's all landlords.
Parliament is completely corrupt, so or at least 90%, I would say. But I mean, coming back to the talk show host thing. Whenever because there's been, obviously, Trump has tried to shut down anybody that disagrees with him and has publicly got a voice, and this has included several late night talk show hosts in America. But the thing is, they talk about things and they still say the same things, and I've heard them say it, and they still talk about the sides. No, that's fine. If you think of the sides, that's one thing that Star Wars Episode 7 got right, is the fight, or what side you're on, is there is only one fight, and it is it's a constant fight. And it's what's her name? The wee alien with the zoom-in glasses was talking about it when they were, when she was talking to Finn in episode 7, saying what, and he says, "What fight?" And she goes, "The only fight." And it's not. She doesn't.
No war but class war.
Yeah, well, she doesn't descend into mysticism or talking about the Force or anything much. But that's the point: is that the evil is there and it will always be there. You've got to contain it. But that's the problem with these late night talk show hosts and things is they start talking about the sides, or that side and this side, but they're talking about the Democrats and the Republicans as if there's something radically different about them. And it's like, well, Democrats are letting this happen. It's like, well, it's all the same people. There are, you guys have allowed voices like Sanders and stuff to just be quashed. I mean, they literally, their own party literally destroyed. So and that's, I don't doubt for a minute that the mechanisms and behind the scenes way that they got rid of, or they ignored Sanders' results, basically, they just stole it. Is what made them think, oh well, we can do that with Corbyn. We can just keep smearing, keep the right wing.
The liberal centre, the liberal left, centre, and right are more afraid of socialism than they are of fascism. That's always
which is insane.
They're okay with fascism because fascism doesn't challenge their capital interests.
Yeah, well, yeah, because at the end of the Second World War, all the people that had the money still had the money. Didn't matter what they did during the war. We still have IBM, we still have Volkswagen, we still have IBG, Feb, or whatever they're called. All these people that.
Yeah, boss.
Whereas at the end of the Russian Revolution, that was not so much the case.
Mercedes.
Yeah, exactly. But you're right though. That's what capital is afraid of. That they would lose some. But this is it. It's like it's got ridiculous though. It's got to cartoon proportions. Where it's all a bunch of Scrooge McDucks, and all they're really doing is competing with each other to try and be, have a bigger number. I mean, the numbers don't even mean anything past a certain point. But what these people could do without even hurting a large percentage of their own wealth and power. I mean, Musk at the moment, for example, is way ahead of the other arseholes and pricks in terms of money. It's not even real money, it's value. But anyway, whatever system they all believe is what they count things by, right? It's where he's ahead. He could take a huge chunk of that and just solve some actual problem.
Yeah.
And he actually, that's what he said years ago he was going to do, and people believed him. I mean, I didn't fucking believe him. I knew he wouldn't do it. You could feed a country or something. You could do it. But instead, it's all become Bond villain projects to, clutter up the skies or make self-driving cars or create AI revolutions, and as you say, the middle, the liberal. The weakness of the liberal part of it all is just.
I mean, they're fundamentally okay with it. As much as rhetorically they'll say otherwise, they're fundamentally okay with this. They much prefer this.
That's why
That's what you say. Like, there's no practical difference from between having 100 million and 100 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
100 million. You can do anything you want. 100 billion, you can still do anything.
But then,
I mean,
then Johnny Dickhead down the on the other side of the channel, the other side of the Atlantic might have 99 billion, and so you don't want to lose that. That one.
Well, the thing is, as well, is that to us, from our point of view, it's functionally the same. But the higher up that ladder you go, the more people beneath you can control with that money. So like Elon Musk is probably enjoying the fact that he can make relatively powerful people still dance on his puppet strings on a way that maybe 100 million wouldn't do. Like the difference there is the systemic control that you might.
I mean, on a material level in terms of.
Only on a material level. But it can't control. It can't control you and me. And this is the thing. This is the thing that I'm kind of sort of retreading a bit here, but this is why the massive protests and petitions and actions, particularly, I'm not saying everything. Gaza's not the only thing that's been going on, but the Palestine protests, especially in the UK, the press have just been ignoring it, and the politicians are just ignoring it.
Up to a point, I think they're at the point where they've got to do something token.
Well, they have.
I think
they have. We'll recognise the Palestinian state. And then there's this peace deal, which is not a deal, because nobody on the other side got any part in it. Putin decided what was happening, basically.
The most insulting part of that is Tony fucking Blair.
Yeah. Oh. Well, thankfully, his connection to Epstein is getting revisited. At the moment, so that might well. But the thing is, the problem with that is none of these people who are horrific monsters, including Blair Mandelson. Is it Mandelson? Was that the one that was? I don't want to slander the wrong person. But basically, all these monsters, absolute fucking monsters, psychopaths, should be brought to justice, but they won't be. They'll be quietly taken away. They won't be in your face all the time again anymore. But they won't lose anything. They won't be sent to prison. They won't be punished for what they've done. There'll be no reparations for the people that have suffered under it all. And another bunch of monsters who aren't involved with that specific scandal will then just rise up.
I mean, the fact that Tony Blair still plays a part in our democracy through his son's corporation and through just being like an elder statesman is disgusting.
It is. I mean, he's a fucking war criminal. He's admitted being a war. Well, there you go. He's admitted being a war criminal. He's admitted it, but he's a. But again,
nobody likes it. Like nobody on the ground likes Tony Blair. Nobody Tories don't like Tony Blair for obvious reasons. The left doesn't like Tony Blair because of the war and various other things. He's only liked by Capital. Capital loves him. Yeah. And this is the problem. You get to see who's really in charge.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, America's going to take a long time. Even if they can root it all out tomorrow, which they fucking can't, it's going to take them a long time to deal with it. And the thing that worries me, even if we get ourselves on track again, the UK, I mean, not us, we'll never be on track. If we can get if the UK can sort of get on track again, either by splitting the union and letting the other places sort themselves out properly, and then England would realise, oh fuck, wait a minute, this is, Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland are kind of, they are necessary to the rest of us. It's not just that, we're holding them up. Anyway, I don't want to get specific arguments, but the point is, I think one way we can recover in the UK is by splitting the union, or by somehow shifting massively to the left politically. I don't know that that's very, very likely or possible. Splitting the union, though, I find it hard to believe that they could stop it anymore.
They
can say, oh well, you've got to have another referendum, and then bombard the system with propaganda the way they did it last time. But last time, people didn't know. They didn't expect Brexit to happen. They didn't expect us to crash out of the EU, not just leave the EU, but crash out of the EU with no plan. They didn't expect that, and huge swathes of the UK are now wise to that. And if you say referendum to people in the UK, they're going to start thinking about that. I think there's a real possibility that
union. I understand it from the Scottish point of view. I think breaking the union would be better for Scotland.
Certainly would, because we get shafted on a daily basis.
I don't think it fundamentally fixes anything.
No, I'm not saying it'll fix everything, but it would at least force the electorate in England to look at what's actually happening a bit more, because there's no cushions.
I don't think it'd affect England.
No.
It would shove England's politics further to the right, which would be a problem for an independent Scotland.
Yeah,
the Scottish vote is relatively left by UK standards. So if you take that out of the Westminster,
that's the excuse I get from lefties down here. Oh no, we don't want Scotland to go because then we'll be left stuck with the Tories. And it's like, we're fucking stuck with the Tories anyway. It's your fucking fault we're stuck with the Tories. But anyway, that's not exactly what. That wasn't my own main point. Anyway, I just think in a broad.
I just want to say before you move on, you gave two options of breaking up the union or essentially going socialist. I'd much prefer socialism.
Oh God, yeah, of course I would.
I understand why the nation want to leave the union.
But if the people in what was the most hopeful spark for years can't even agree with themselves, then what fucking chances
But
are?
also, take if you're going, take us with you, because the north of England is no.
Yeah,
more
well, this is the thing. That's where I think it would go. I think England would then the regions of England would then be much more likely to try and fight back a bit more and become a bit more left. I reckon. I don't think that it would all lurch to the right immediately, but I don't think that after a while, people in the north, the middle, northeast, northwest, bits of England like that, I don't think they would keep putting up with it, because what happens at the moment. It's like what you were saying about the leftists. Yeah, the liberals being happy because it doesn't affect them. When the world can go into a complete war state, but their money's still there somewhere. It's okay. Some of them might get their houses bombed, but it's not the whole. Blah blah blah. Anyway, but I think it's like that with England. I think that as long as everything's being concentrated in Westminster, then London, then the east of then southeast of England. But there's a huge cushion in the form of Northern Ireland, Scotland, and to quite a big extent these days as well now Wales. These countries are the cushion to the north and the Midlands, getting the worst of it. Yeah. And I think and I think that if they were starting to feel the brunt of it more, they would.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
But you're right though. The immediate effect would be a massive lurch to the right. But we're on that track anyway. We're literally on that track, trundling down. And anyway, but I forgot something else I was going to say now because I was in the middle of that tirade. I forgot. I had something else to say and it's gone. Oh buggers. It was when I was talking about the two options and... Oh, yeah, America. So the problem with this in the United States of America is that it's already broken. And I think that they need to wake up to what their country is, what it's become. And, well, it's never changed from being what it was. It was a financial arrangement. They talked about getting rid of kings and all that, but they just had a new set of kings. And the same, the family dynasties have risen. You got the Kennedys, and Trump's family are now going to have, unless they get lynched in the fucking street in the end. But you've got all that going to. So even if they root out the actual dangerous fascism that people are seeing on the street, I mean, the fucking military in the streets, prison camp, all that stuff. Even if they root all that out and go back, if they only go back a tiny bit. It's not going to change anything for the average person in America.
No.
And they need to come to grips with the fact that, I mean, the biggest thing that country needs to realise is how racist it is. And I remember people, I think it was Amir Shah, the comedian, talking about, he said, he's obviously jobbing comedians travel all over the world, and he was on, I think he might have been on a Frankie Boyle show, or just a some sort of chat show thing. And he said that the UK is one of the least racist places he knows. And I thought, this is an Asian bloke from the UK saying that, but then I realised, obviously everything that's happened in America, and then when you think about how their prison system works, and things like that, it's just, unless they address those actual fundamental problems that they've got, particularly around race.
The UK, I believe the UK's prison population is more disproportionately non-white than the US's is, but the US just imprisons a lot more people. The US has the highest prison population by capita of any remotely large country. It's that in itself is
it's a business,
completely like a complete condemnation of the US. They are.
Yeah. Unless they sort out things like the prison system, race relations to some not tokenism, but some actual extent of sorting it out, and the gun problem that they've got. They'll go, blah blah blah, yeah, but it's not a problem, and it's again money. This is what it is, and this is why Starmer's government are acting the way they do, because money is more important to them than any human life except their own.
I will say, I do think Americans genuinely just love guns. Like, money might come into it.
Yeah,
I think they just like guns in America. Like it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, but there's other
guns.
countries that have got the similar gun laws that don't have the problems.
Yeah.
It's a social thing.
It's a cultural. Yeah, it's absolutely a cultural thing.
They love guns. They imbue their whole history with it.
I mean, guns are fun. Guns are a lot of fun.
That's the scary. Yeah, that's what's frightening about them. Even if you're a pacifist sort of person. I mean, I think Sigourney Weaver was talking about this years ago when she did the sequels to Alien. She was like, "Oh, I'm not one gun." But then she started, having to use a gun for the script.
Yeah.
And she was like, and then she realized this is exactly why she's against guns. It's because it's similar to me to the way that people act when they're driving. I know that's a bit of Hamish's life is around that.
I see
but people in a car feel detached. And and that's why it's a machine.
Also, I think this gets to the point. There's countries where people drive very rules-abiding, safe, considerately, relatively cars, and
the UK is actually pretty good for it. I have to be honest.
Yeah.
Being the kind of nervous Nelly that I am, I've been looking into that.
I don't know if it's a racist stereotype, but you hear about drivers in Rome. Just completely.
I thought you were going to say India.
Europe is awful.
India's the
Greece.
And I think that's the difference with America with guns. America with guns is like Romans with cars.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
I mean, even the French ain't that great.
This is the thing, though. People, if you say this to people, just generally drop it into the conversation, like how dangerous cars are, they won't get it because they feel like they don't feel like it's a privilege anymore. They feel like it's a right. And that's exactly what Americans have got.
Yeah, but that's complicated because
the fabric of modernity.
The fabric. Yeah, government and society have built.
When people try to fix that,
societies.
When people try to fix that, all the right wing nutters go mental because, of course, cars means money to people.
Well, not even just right wing nutters like boomers and the thing is, we've been in this car centric society now for decades.
Yeah, definitely.
We've just programmed ourselves into it.
Yeah, everybody's got three cars and you see a household around here.
Yeah, I think right is the right way to center it. I think it's more. It feels natural. This is what feels.
It feels needed because the thing is,
there's somebody I talked to. I mean, given that I'm actually learning to drive, maybe I'm being a hypocrite saying all this, but I remember talking to, Mad Killer Ben of other circles around us. I was talking to him about it, and he was saying, "Well, I've got to drive for my work," and I was like, "Yeah, I understand why." He says, "Because the public transport's shit. You can't rely on it." And it's like, well, that's the problem, though. The problem there is that to sell cars and to keep oil companies afloat, they've sold off the ownership of the infrastructure. So but
it's a bit like the meme of you claim to be a communist. You claim to be a communist, and yet you have an iPhone. It's a little bit that you've got to live in the world, and especially if you live rural, and you've got a job.
But also, I read this on the Fediverse. It was workers that gave you your iPhone. Capitalism just decided to get the money.
But of course, But Chris is learning to drive a bus.
Yes, that was something I was thinking. Stop all this and get back to this. Chris, and in the West Country, I think every area has their own little thing that people say when they get off the bus, to thank the driver. And in the West Country, it's cheers, drive. Not driver, drive.
Yep.
Cheers, drive.
It's tar duck.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. What is it around your way?
I don't know. I just say thanks. Thank you.
The Welsh are much more polite than the rest of us,
No.
I can't remember what I would have said in Scotland. I probably would have just said thank you or cheers to the driver or whatever.
Wales might be
very
Tarbut.
Specific.
Tarbut might be in Wales.
Oh, right, okay.
Is that Welsh?
Tarbut? Yeah. No, it just means Tarbut. Tarbut.
But what's the butt part?
But. Tarbut.
But. As in.
Yeah, but.
But what?
I but. Yeah.
Yeah, but.
What? What?
Have you never heard but used as just the end of a sentence before?
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I but.
No, that's quite common.
It's like bud or buddy.
Yeah.
Hi, but.
Oh no, I thought you meant but as in BUT, because I heard people ending sentences with it.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay. Because my cousin, one of my cousins in particular, speaks like that a lot, and he'll go blah blah blah. Blah yeah, but you know, it's like the but is absolutely extraneous. But there you go. Well. But yeah, so once as soon as somebody, I think it was Drew told me, or maybe I heard it from Ghosty secondhand or whatever. But as soon as I heard that you were going to be a bus driver, you were wanting to be a bus driver, I thought, yep, I can see that. I can see that. It definitely fits you.
Yeah, no,
it's your personal, your interest in people and things, but not wanting to deal with like, sproggy teenage other staff and things like that. It's and not lots of managers. You'll have bosses and stuff, but you're not going to have to deal with them a lot. It gives you. I can see you being a wee bit freedom during your shift. Yeah. But you still enjoy dealing with the people.
Although with the manager guy who was interviewing me, I think he manages the big hub. It was he seemed like I don't want to say too much, but the whole sort of area and industry or whatever seems to be quite big on unions, quite a strong union.
Yeah, they're transport unions. Yeah.
Culture
Oh god, you want to be in a union? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, they said you get invited pretty sharpish anyway, but I mean, obviously, I've joined.
Is it the TGWU or?
No, it's something like Unite. I think it's Unite.
Oh, Unite. Unite. I was a member of Unite. And a couple of places, but I've found them a wee bit problematic over the years now and again. But yeah.
Well,
at the end of the day, it's still a union. It's better to be in a union than not.
They have a very good track record with arguing for raises and pensions. And when my dad was in Unite, they managed to get him extra holiday and a pay rise. Just basically when they just scanned over his contract, they're just like. Yeah,
There's somebody in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
I thought I heard voices.
I heard something in the background. I thought it.
No. You both imagined it.
It must be Drew's side then. It's Drew's sister or niece or something. It's like, I'm hearing voices. That's the problem when you've got headphones on and a microphone open. You'll hear things and you'll think they're elsewhere, but they're not. It's like, it's outside your window or something in the kitchen,
Oh yeah, but you hear back to yourself, don't you?
Oh, do you not do that?
Should we for Rosie, should we do a little round of Hail to the Bus Driver?
Eh?
Oh, please no.
What?
She's been singing that, trying very hard not to sing that.
I don't know what it is though.
When she said that in chat, I laughed out loud. I could imagine how annoying it was for you.
What's Hail to the Bus Driver then? Is it from a TV show or something? Or?
It's an American, and it's in America. It's a thing they do in America, but I'm aware of it from The Simpsons and stuff.
Right. Okay.
Hail to the bus
driver.
Hail
to the bus driver. Bus driver. Bus driver. Hail to the bus driver.
And who does this? Kids? Bus
driver. Yeah. It's like on school buses.
School bus. Right. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think you'll be getting much of that. Do you know what area you'll be driving in once you're qualified?
Yeah, around about the Forest of Dean.
Oh, right. So it's not going to be like city centres or anything then?
No.
You're lucky.
And actually, yeah, I'm quite lucky. It's a lovely place to drive. The roads aren't too bad. I mean, you got to be a bit careful with the country roads, but I'm pretty confident I can manage it. It's yeah, some of them are double deckers. I don't know if the double deckers come from the hub that I'll be working from though. But because it's country buses, which they don't go all through the night like city buses, they finish at 7,
we're quite rural here, so there's certain places during the day I can get a bus 3 times an hour at the end of the road to go around the local villages. But in the evening those disappear because what they actually are buses that are going through to the major towns, and just happen to be, they've spaced them out so that they give you a good local service as well.
Yeah. So as I understand it, my shifts will be longer, but I may only be working 4 days a week. So
yeah, I think some driver. Yeah, I've heard that. But, you're not driving every day, but you will be doing a few longer days to cover a whole route for a shift.
That could be nice. And I get 3 out of 4 Sundays a month, so that's nice.
That's cool.
It means I get to touch base with the family, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
the pay's good.
Yeah, I've seen the advertised the pay around here, and it does look quite good. I mean, obviously, unless I want to do it just before I retire, I'm not going to be a bus driver because you've got to be driving for a while and everything. And I'm not. Oh, I meant to ask you. You're young enough, I reckon, that you probably did the theory test. Yeah. It was when you. Yeah, I thought you might have just when you.
I didn't do the. I was just on the cusp of
you didn't do the reaction perception. Yeah. I've got to pass my test, so I don't have to do that again. Because I knew that if there was anything that made me fail that theory test, it would be that and not the questions. And in the end, I did.
Yeah, the questions are fine.
Yeah, I got 50 out of 50. And 58 out of 75 for the perception. Actually, the what's regarded as the two harder ones, the two of the harder ones on the hazard perception, I did get quite a good score. So it's like just sort of happy enough to make it, But
not too shabby.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to try and practice my hazard perception.
Yeah,
I'm pretty. That's like the thing I'm nervous about is the hazard perception.
You'll have to do a new one with more longer theory tests.
Yeah, and then I have to like get some kids to shout in my ear or something as I'm doing it.
Yeah,
maybe a drunk man that smells of piss. Just
hey, I can do that for you. Yeah, we've done that. Like, I'm sure we've both done that on buses in the past, Drew. Yeah. Although I don't upset bus drivers, I have to be honest. I'm usually quite. I'm nice enough to bus. I'm polite.
Yeah.
I'm not disruptive. Yeah. So, but I could be drunk and smell of piss though. So I could do that.
It'll only be the day drinkers that I have to cart around.
Ah, right, of course, yeah. No, well, I'm not a day smeller. I can smell a piss for you most of the time. That's not difficult.
That's very thoughtful.
Yeah, if you need it, just let me know, and I'll just become a tiny bit less hygienic. Not a long way down.
Need me to smell a piss? I'm here for you.
Exactly, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are the best.
When you get friends like us. You don't need to go searching for pissy men.
I've got an excuse. I've got an excuse for smelling like piss.
What's that?
No, I mean I'm sure raw meat and cigarettes will do just as well.
Fucking mean I can't smoke on the fucking bus. Fuck off.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
I once took a bus and the bus driver just lit up a cigarette.
I've seen bus drivers and they open the window, especially if it's a shift where there's not many people. And they open the window. Hang out as if that helps. It's like
last time I was on a bus or anywhere, it was still allowed. So that would be a culture shock.
Yeah, well, yeah. I remember when I was a kid. This cracked me up, and let me see how bad the addiction was. Is we used to have the local bus service, which was council ran, and that was the biggest one. So it became a bit of a contract eventually, but anyway, never mind. Point is that there was the main bus service, and there was a couple of independent ones, and at a certain time of night, particularly, this is going to sound really... I'm not being sexist or classist, but it was particularly women...
Working class women
heading to the bingo would wait like maybe 15 or 20 minutes extra just to get on the bus so that they could smoke on, rather than not smoke for... And this journey was about 7 or 8 minutes. So rather than wait 7 or 8 minutes without a cigarette, they would wait for the other bus to come so they could smoke before it came, and then smoke on the bus.
Exactly what I would do. No,
100.
Yeah, I'm
like, you could not smoke for 7 or 8 minutes. It was literally, oh god, it's like a 4 or 5 stop journey.
Yeah, but is this because it's like, oh, it's a nice day out?
No, this wasn't fucking snow and everything. This is Scotland in the winter. Women going to the bingo at night. No, this isn't daytime. This is
Scotland in the winter.
Scotland.
I think I've ever been to bingo.
Well, I used to work in it.
Does bingo happen anymore?
I'm in the paper. Yeah, well, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I'm in the paper. There's somebody. I can't remember where I was working at the time. I think it was when I was working for Scottish Power in the techie department thing. Doing proper techie work, like a nerd do. And somebody found this newspaper thing, said, what's this? Because I was a finalist in Bingo Collar of the Year UK.
Oh.
I didn't win. The other guy from my actual bingo club won. He was an arsehole, but anyway.
A good bingo caller.
Yeah, apparently reasonably good bingo caller. But I mean, I was.
Do your two little ducks.
You don't do that. Oh my god, that's far too serious for that.
That's not real.
That's not been real for decades before I was even around. No, they take it far too fucking seriously.
No two fat ladies 88?
No, none of that. It's 1 and 4, 14. All 3's 33. You probably say you might say that. I can't remember now. I think you probably did say that, but no, none of the little things. Oh god, no. It's far too serious.
Mm. Yeah. You just say numbers.
You just say you said 1 and 4, 14.
And what makes a good bingo caller?
You get the numbers right.
You get the numbers right. You pace it well. You can react when somebody makes a shout, that kind of thing. And you can have a bit of a laugh.
Is it like
within the time limits? The seriousness of it all.
It's like it's like a bit of compare work, or
it is a bit. Yeah. That's exactly what it's like. Yeah. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's a bit sort of because obviously if people are faffing about doing stuff that in between
do you have to fill dead air like cricket commentators?
A bit like that, yeah. You're just kind of you're kind of directing the staff around while they're trying, saying, oh yeah, somebody up there to be checked and things like that. Because obviously they're in it, but you're up on the stage, so.
So how do they? Is that what they mark on? How entertaining you are? How the atmosphere?
Well, I think not for the actual final, because we went to the final, and I was my usual self, but he was very serious, and I think they just did it on a technical basis. I was like, oh well, it wasn't that big deal. But anyway, it was yeah. It's people that discovered it years afterwards. Oh yeah, there's this.
You should. Have you ever thought about doing bingo live streams?
No, for various reasons. But I mean, I worked in bingo. But I worked.
What are you talking like that was some hat that you hung up a long time ago? Oh, not after the incident.
Not after all this.
Oh, no.
But no, because
they keep dragging me back.
Yeah, it's not just the call. I mean, when you worked there, you did well. Not everybody wanted to call, but you would do different jobs, and I was like a sort of trainee manager type person, so I was doing a lot of the admin and stuff as well, but yeah, there's that. You asked though if bingo still happens. Yes, it does, and it's changed a lot. I've not been inside a bingo hall for decades, probably. But my mum and Alan used to go regularly, especially when Mum was ill and they weren't going abroad as much anymore. So that was kind of one of the things that they did. Alan didn't want to do it; he got dragged along anyway. But it's all electronic now. The same way that when I was there, what we call the mini bingo, the cash bingo, which you play in the breaks, the little, the kind of thing you'd see at a fairground, little plastic small 15 square bingo thing, single thing, which is where the money was made. That now is completely digital. You don't have the books anymore. I don't think that's all digital as well. So it's all, your table is just screens. But
Does that take the magic away?
Well, I think the magic is people trying to win money. I think it's the desperation of gamblers. I mean, it's not if you're going to gamble, bingo is definitely not one of the ones that you're ever going to make a living out of. Although, oh god, just thinking about you and your bus driver idea, I mean, that was the one thing that I really did like about the bingo. I worked in 2 bingo halls. The first one, it was full of arseholes. The manager was an arsehole. Yeah, it was just arseholes, wall-to-wall arseholes. But the other one I worked was much more. It was smaller and more local to me. And although it started off with like people going, "Oh, this is we have gossip circles in bingo." It's like, "Oh yeah, he worked to that other one. He didn't go and he was living." But I after a wee while I started to get on with people. I think the autism and being the weird kid. Sometimes I'll go somewhere and just not fit in and not get on and stuff. But I got on fine after that at the second place I worked, and I loved it because I got friendly with all the regulars and everything like that. And I can see that I can see the appeal of that, but I can also see where you worked for a short while, the things that that I was hearing that you were not getting on with. I can understand that as well. Like I've worked in pubs when I was younger as well, when I was a teenager and things. An older teenager, early 20s, and again, I didn't mind the actual people in the pub, the patrons. But some of the staff can make the place unbearable, So the idea of doing one of those kind of public-facing jobs, but just by yourself, does appeal. I mean, at the end of the day, though, when I had the shop and it was my shop and I was responsible for everything, I didn't get the same fun out of it. Because I couldn't just walk. I couldn't just walk out at 5 o'clock and go, right, that's it, forgotten for the day. I had to cope with everything, and that, that meant that one or two arseholes could spoil your entire week easily, because you're responsible for everything,
Or like arsehole customers or arsehole staff?
Arsehole customers. I didn't have much staff. I had some, quite a few, because you do it once and they go, haha, he'll keep doing it. I did work experience for the local high school, and I got a couple of complete layabouts that just didn't want to do it and they weren't interested in learning. I'm not trying to teach them some huge technical thing. I'm just trying to teach them a bit of the basics that, maybe I didn't know until I was doing part-time jobs and stuff, but how to count, maybe not how to count change, because that was long ago. We had a card machine, I remember then, but those kind of little things that you just try to get the kids to sort of, or dealing with the customer, how to answer the phone, how to fill out a form, just little simple things. But I had one kid who was brilliant, and he just kept coming back. Even when he was finished, he just kept coming back, and he was helping me out all the time and everything. So I felt bad that I couldn't pay him, and it's really annoying at the time because I had an actual member of staff who he was a nice young guy, but it turned out he was being deceitful, and I had to sack him, actually sack him, gross misconduct type sack him. I don't want to get into it because obviously this is public, but it was to do with somebody else. I better not say too much. I don't want to say too much.
You're talking yourself into a hole.
Yeah, this is a small town. I don't want to. Yeah. Anybody that does catch this, I don't want to. The people that know who I'm talking about will know who I'm talking about. And he's okay. And to be honest, he's not really done much with himself since then. He's got a very menial type job, and he's now he's well in his 30s, and he's still doing that job. He's not progressed to management or anything. He's still doing the bottom rung job. Okay. He wasn't the best, but I was too soft, and I just kept him on until I had to not. And I really wish now that if things had been different, that I would have got that other kid, and it probably would have made the place more bearable towards the end. Anyway, but I forgot what we were talking about. Oh yeah, arsehole staff and arsehole customers. Arsehole customers mainly was the problem.
I mean, at some point we were talking about the Expanse.
Yeah, but this always happens when we're talking about the Expanse.
I have something tangentially related to the Expanse.
Hey!
Mm-hmm.
Okay, two good science fiction television shows I've watched in the past couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is Altered Carbon, which is an older show. That. People will have heard of it.
I've heard of it.
So
don't know anything about it.
The premise of that is they've got a technology where they put a thing in your neck and that holds your consciousness. So if you die, you can just take that thing out of your neck and put it in a different body and then just carry on living. And
whose body?
Any body, synthetic body or cloned body or just a body that's not currently in use. Because you can also transmit this consciousness to other planets and stuff. And they make interesting use of that by doing things like sometimes somebody will copy their consciousness, so there'll be two of them. Sometimes they'll restore a consciousness from a backup, so there'll be a version of you from 200 years ago and the version of you now. And they did one thing where there's one of the main characters in the first season is a police lady, a Hispanic police lady, and they're relatively poor. But once a year, they bring their grandmother back alive on her birthday and celebrate her birthday with her. And they, just in whatever body happens to be available. And in the episode on the first season, the body they had available was this big neo-Nazi biker dude. So you've got this Hispanic grandmother inhabiting the body of a big race. So they do fun stuff with it, interesting stuff with it.
Mm-hmm.
First season's a bit wobbly and really picks up at the end. Second season's really good and then shits itself at the end. So you've kind of got an... But overall, it's very good.
How many series was there in total?
Just two. Then it was cancelled. But the but it's based on novels, so they are the 2 seasons are each complete stories.
Right,
so you're not left hanging too much.
The
second one's one that just came
Altered
out.
Carbon.
Altered Carbon, yeah, it's very good. Second one is a show that I just happened across. It came out very recently called Eternaut, The Eternaut, like ETER and then like astronaut. It's Argentinian, so it's in Spanish. So the premise is it's these older, like kind of like our age, Hamish, older dudes, middle-aged dudes in suburban Buenos Aires, I think it's set in. And it starts snowing really heavily. They just start hanging out in their house, and it starts snowing really heavily. And if you go outdoors and the snow touches you, you just fall over and die. But once the snow settles for a bit, it's safe. So
is it hot or poisonous?
No, I mean Buenos Aires is in South America.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah,
it's relative. Like they're not accustomed to it snowing. And yeah, and then it's a really bad, snowstorm. Very cold.
Hang on a minute. Wait a minute. That's not. I don't. Okay. Wait. No, that doesn't. No.
You've upset Chris.
The snow. Okay. Right. I know it's hot in Buenos Aires, but is the snow magic or is it poisonous?
Well,
or is that what the show's about?
That never gets explicitly revealed. Okay. But the purpose, there's more going on, obviously, than just magic snow. Like it progresses from there. Don't read the synopsis on IMDb because that literally there's something that is kind of like revealed, like a big, bigger picture stuff in like episode. There's only 6 episodes, and it's like episode 4 before like the actual thing is revealed.
So it's a mini series, then, yeah.
Well, it's just season 1 of a show at the moment.
Okay.
It's but yeah, the IMDb synopsis just spoils the thing that happens in season 4, straight up.
It's like when we used to go to the video.
And it's one of the places that your mind might go when you're going like, "What the fuck is this all about? What is it caused by?" It's one of the places your mind might go, but you'll still be. I think it's better to not know going in and be speculating because it's very satisfying. It's not like Lost. It introduces more weird things, but like they've all got a purpose. It's very good. It's very slow, very sort of like slow build up. I really enjoyed it. I watched the whole thing in one day.
Have you seen the version of Lost that was ordered chronologically?
No, I've not.
I'm tempted to watch it because I hate the flashbacks. Yeah. So you can just skip.
That show is just
point.
all flashbacks.
But then you can just skip to the bit that's not flashbacks, and then just watch it chronologically. Yeah, because
I gave up on it before the end, and then I discovered the end was shite anyway. So I was like, yeah.
I watched the pilot and went, that's fucking shit. And I've watched odd episodes and groups of episodes since, but it is fucking appalling television.
Its
only purpose was to be a water cooler shoot. It was to be a water cooler show that you went to work and talked about, but like nothing. But only with nothing ever being resolved, nothing ever making sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a constant cock tease. This is a weird, wacky mystery, isn't it? Well, what does it mean? I'm not telling you what it means.
Polar bears.
Yeah, that disappears. I don't know if it comes back towards the end,
and
but
the ending, like they
and
really,
the number station bit and everything,
The fans were all like, "It's purgatory, isn't it?" And the writers were like, "No,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're definitely doing something more interesting with it." And like they clearly tried for several years to come up with something more interesting. And they're like, "Fuck it, it's purgatory." Yeah, you're right. Spoilers. But no, these are 2 very good shows. Altered Carbon was a bit hit and miss for me, but it's very slick and very well produced. It's very watchable. I think Chris would enjoy it actually. The other one is much slower, much more contemplative, and the second one's the better show for me, but they're both enjoyable.
On the subject of a show that's a bit like Lost, but hopefully not as bad, have either of you guys watched From?
It's on my sort of soft list. Yeah, I've been looking at it. Yeah,
I'm worried that I hope it doesn't go the way that Lost did and just sort of keep stringing you along. It has been doing some revelations, and they're feeling a bit like they might just be making some up as they go along rather than planning anything.
Yeah, that's
what worries me about it.
I think things based on novels or comic books, things that are based on existing things that are complete, tend to be at least you have a guarantee that they're not going to do that. I'm not saying everything that's made up.
I don't know, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but that wasn't finished. That was the problem.
Finished,
Game of Thrones, the books weren't.
They ran out the runway.
Yeah.
Well, the other one that's finished recently is Alien Earth, and the thing is, it's kind of difficult to sell it to people without spoiling it, because people that aren't that into Alien would go, "Oh, it's just an Alien thing," and I'd be like, "Oh, there's something," because the actual main thrust of the story is almost nothing to do with the alien. Really, in fact, it's almost not. It's much more to do, because when you were talking about altered carbon, it came to mind, because it's much more to do with a group of synthetics, who are built to house the consciousness of some dying children. Now, this isn't any benevolent thing, though. This is like, corporations trying to perfect the technology and finding out that children are more easy to get into these bodies, to transfer the consciousness. So it's, there's no altruistic reasons for it. It's all about just, that'll work. So how do we get kids? Oh, we get dying kids because they're going to die anyway. So they get the parents to sort of waver away. And there are, I'm trying to. It's got the cleverness and the brains of Alien, and some of the prequels, the good bits of the prequels, although it's not connected. That's the other. Oh god, there's so many things to try and explain this without spoiling it. It's not part of the whole Alien universe, really.
Right.
It covers, it's got the alien in it, sort of, and other alien life forms, because there's like I'm not going to spoil it. I don't want to spoil anything because it's still extant, as it were. So it's got these sort of things in it, and there is a lot of action bits in it as well. So the Aliens fans will like some of that, but it's not. If you're an extreme purist of the canon and the multiverse, or whatever you want to call it, the universe of it, it's not really fitting in. And I had to sort of, because I am a bit of that, I've had to sort of shut off a chunk of my brain all the way through watching it and just try and enjoy the thing. Of the friends
I have who enjoy, acquaintances. Of the acquaintances I have who enjoy Alien, half seem to hate it and half seem to really love it. And it probably is depending on whether they can shut off that part.
Yeah, if you can shut off that part and not... Because there's a few details they released before the show came out, and it's like, that doesn't... and I was like, I'm going to have to really ignore that to get into this. And and it doesn't do flashback, but it does do slightly out of order episodes deliberately.
Yeah.
And that actually, I suppose it's technically a flashback because they show you what happens before something else. So anyway, acting is fantastic in it. It's very, very well acted. It's got Timothy Olyphant in it, and he's really good. He's really good in it.
I do like him.
Yeah, at first he's kind of a bit. There's not that much of him, but then he becomes more important later, more prominent rather. Not important. He's important from the start. It's got Adrian Edmondson in it, who. His character is very interesting. Again, you don't really. He's kind of like seems like some background, and then it becomes more prominent as well. It's a lot more. The main thrust of the story is about these what were dying kids now in synthetic bodies. That's kind of the main story of it, and like the story arc from start to finish is that. But they've set it up for possibly more series, and it's not. Despite the out of canonness of it, as long as they don't. They've not touched the rest of the story, really. They've not touched outside of... They've stayed in their lane. And that makes me want a second series of it. And I can see how it would work.
I get what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to say anything without actually spoiling, because it's only 8 parts. Yeah. And, huge revelations happen throughout the 8 parts.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to sort of... It's hard to explain it to people... Because it's using a famous name, the Alien... thing. It's hard to explain to people without spoiling it, because there's a lot of things we know about the alien, life cycle and all that. But also people that aren't that into it to try and explain why they might still like it. It is very, very gory though.
Spoil the whole thing.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
If you're not into gore, you do not want to watch this, and it's not just.
I'm probably going to end up watching it at some point.
Yeah.
But broadly speaking, I think currently I'm more just because of the way everything is now. I'm more interested in new stuff than in stuff that is just doing things in existing franchises.
This is what I'm trying to explain. Yeah, this is the thing I'm trying to explain. Is it's not.
Yeah, no, I know. It's kind of like Andor, I assume. Like it can be completely disconnected.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, exactly.
It's just I don't want.
But
I don't want to
still
encourage
in that
them
universe. There's no.
Just keep just putting branded names on things just because.
I know what you mean, but I do kind of like it when they have a world that gets expanded on, rather than have like one story and just drag it out and out and out.
Yeah.
To have a world with lots of different things going on separately that are like just exist.
I don't hate that. World. I don't hate that as an idea. It's just that it's like in Hollywood and in TV now. They just they're so inclined to just keep bringing back franchises.
But
let people with a new idea.
Yeah,
present a new idea.
I'm not trying to force sell it on you or anything, but once you finally do get around to it, I think you'll find it doesn't entirely fit into that.
Yeah.
Like you say, I think comparing it to Andor is quite a fair thing actually. Except Andor definitely fits in chronologically within a certain thing, but this,
but it's tonally
to give you the non-spoilery version. I suppose what I would say is this should have been set at a different time, but the time they've set it in messes up with the canon.
Right,
like the technology and that sort of thing. They could have set it in a different time with, especially. No, I was going to say something. In the way that Alien Isolation doesn't really, the tentacles of that story don't come outside into anywhere else really, but they still leave themselves room for more stories in Alien Isolation. Have you both played Alien Isolation?
No.
Oh right, okay. So
I'm aware of the vague concept of the game. Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
I might have seen you play it on a stream. To be honest,
you probably have. Yeah, I've played it on stream quite a lot. I mean, I still play it quite a lot. I play it on the Steam Deck, and it's like, and even now in bed, it's like kind of something. It's really well done. They're making a sequel to it, and I'm hoping they'll not fuck it up. There is another Alien game. I can't remember what it's called. It's on Steam, and it was a VR only, and they've sort of converted it to flat. And it doesn't. I've started playing it, and it does a lot of the worst things that the AVP type games have done, and it doesn't. Even the combat part of it all feels very. There's not much. It just feels very flat. You don't feel like the impact of the combat. It's just like click, 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 and it kind of reveals. And there's a lot of mini game things. It reveals the fact that it was a VR game, so that look, you can reach out and click things and stuff. And whereas in Alien Isolation, there are mini games, but they sort of make sense within the context of the game, context of the story as well. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry, I have rambled, but yeah. Have you seen the one clip that I have? I deliberately made a tiny clip of Alien Earth. Mr. Strawberry says. Have you seen that little clip? So. Have you not seen it? It's on. No. It's literally 2 seconds. I'll put it up now. Hang on.
I've seen Hamish's dusty joystick. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was my friend John. He came in one day while I was doing something, and he went. What's it called?
Classic short film.
Yeah, video. Yeah, it's a classic short film. I'm going to try, and I think I can do this. Right, I'm going to try and put it on. No, oh fuck it! I'll give you the link because I'm not sure I can. I've not got OBS set up properly anymore because I've been faffing about with things. But if you watch this, it makes no sense. It's no spoiler in it. It's just a really cool little bit that has become a bit of a catchphrase. I noticed the Discord I've actually used it in the little GIFs and stuff.
Ah, yes. Mr. Strawberry says fuck off.
No, he says fuck off. It's in context. It's very, very bizarre what happens there, but yeah. But the irreverence and everything is good. And like I say, she obviously she's one of the people that was a child, but has now got an adult body.
I too was a child.
Pardon?
I was a child too.
All right. Were you?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. You talked about this on Ozone Show. You were a child first.
I was born at a very young age.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you're like me, and I know I am, then I love that kind of thing.
I'm very tall for my height.
Yeah, Mr. Strawberry says, fuck off. Yeah, but like I said, Discord I've already, even though I made that one myself, Discord have got that in their, like, in their GIF thing or whatever. You can get it now, and it's like, I knew they would. But at least, despite being an old fart, I was savvy enough to recognise a memeable little thing. See?
Well done.
Yeah.
Kids.
Down with the kids, man. Yeah.
Okay, I've got a stupid thing I want to say.
Yeah, you say that, and then let's talk about this. Because how long have we been? Oh my god,
right. I saw the trailer for Dunk and Egg, the Game of Thrones thing that's coming out. I like it. Looks good. My hopes are high, and I know that's even a stupid thing to say.
Oh no, House of Dragons was actually all right. I've not watched all of it.
House of the Dragon. Yeah, no, I like that. But I think this will be even better because it's 6 episodes, half an hour long each. So it's an entirely different beast. I think it's going to be a bit like lighter, a bit more adventurous. And I like the story. And I really would like to see that committed to television. So, I know I'm getting. I don't know. Like,
what do you mean it's not television? What is it?
Yes, it is television.
You said you would like to see it committed to television, as if it's something else.
In the story of Dunk and Egg, the novella Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
I've not. Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about. Sorry, I'm not. I'm not enough of a good Game of Thrones nerd. I should be because I've got like 2 T-shirts with Game of Thrones, 3 T-shirts with Game of Thrones. I should be a total nerd.
Oh wow, yeah. But no, the short stories are quite good. It's specifically this particular one where it ends with the trial by 7, which is I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, don't, because I don't know enough about it, and I probably will. I should. I think there's been more. What do you call it? House of Dragons. I'm not caught up with that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'll check out the trailer
because the Lord of the Rings series, that was fucking awful. I could not watch more of that.
I heard.
I haven't even seen the films. Rosie's trying to get me to watch the films.
Films are okay. I mean, have you read the books?
Read The Hobbit a long time ago when I was.
Yeah, the Hobbit's very different from the Lord of the Rings, though. That's the thing. Although they tried to make the
shit. No.
Pardon?
They're all terrible.
I liked them.
The animated
the
one, Hobbit.
Oh yeah.
Not the Hobbit. Yeah, like the 90-minute Hobbit animated cartoon from like forever ago.
Yeah.
Is not terrible.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I got there. I was going to say something else, and I was like, "Oh, have you seen that?" Buckeration all across the nation. There was some other show that I thought about that I think we might have all talked about before, and it's gone out of my head now. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so how much have we said about?
How much have we said about Expanse? Okay. Wait a minute. I've got some more Expanse stuff. I got some more Expanse stuff. So the kid.
Yeah, we've given away the very end. So that's,
yeah.
The kid. I thought they could have done a lot more with that.
Yeah, well, that story just disappears.
Well, that should have been. For me, that should have been season 4. Should have all just been that stuff.
Yeah.
That was it
was
5, 6.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
And we never did get to know what it was about.
Or the war of the old aliens.
What do you call it? Pet Cemetery type scenario with that alien dog thing.
Yeah. So
but why did they? It was like they filmed it and thought, oh well, we better stick that in. but they never got to finish that part of the story or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what?
Well, I think wasn't one of the last scenes that boy being like, "Oh, I feel kind of strange. I can see everything. I'm connected."
It's a bit like it's a bit like the transhumans that they made with the protomolecule. Yeah,
yeah.
Kind of bringing it back for that a bit, but it just didn't really. Yeah,
like it didn't, and I didn't particularly find any of those characters hugely engaging.
Well, it's new characters that got very little time. They just got little sort of vignettes. Yeah. That should have been season 4. Should have been that stuff.
Yeah, a proper full fleshed out story, or maybe like a webisode thing or something.
There is a Telltale Expanse game.
Yes, there is.
But I don't know anything more than it exists.
You play drummer in it. I've not played it.
Have you played it? Is it good?
No, I've not played it. I thought I had it the other day. I went, I forgot. Did I buy that? I forgot that. But then it turns out it was a Battlestar Galactica game that I'd bought, not Expanse.
And also, can you still buy Telltale games?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can buy it on Steam.
Okay, because I didn't know
it was on sale not long
ago,
actually. But I don't know. I feel. I know that I'm probably a dick for this, but I feel like I like games to be much longer, and
I like longer.
But things that make a lot of effort for the content, for the story and everything, but the actual game is not entirely there. I don't find them good value. I like it to be interactive. I want if I'm buying a video game, I want a video game. I don't want to watch
unless the story. If the story is fucking amazing, like Citizen Sleeper is very, very good. I'm fine with it. But I like my game.
Yeah, there are some Telltale games that work better than others. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like the Wolf Among Us. But again, that was that. I'm almost judging that on its basis as a mildly interactive film.
Yeah.
If they'd made The Wolf Among Us as a film, would have been amazing. It's just
Oh, it's like the what do you call it? The new Tomb Raider. The newer Tomb Raider games. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, you got to try it." And I played through 2. I mean, I fucking made an effort. I really did. I played through 2 of them, but they were just like it was like playing what do you call it? I forgot the name of it now. That it was like playing a Laserdisc game from the 80s. It was basically just walking from place to place.
They're barely interactive.
And then lots of quick time events. So the story was great. I mean, it was Rihanna Pratchett that was the main writer on it, and the story itself, it wasn't terrible. I say great. I actually don't think it was great. On reflection, it was a good story though. It held up as a story, but it wasn't a game.
Yeah.
And then you get all these people go, "Oh yeah, but we're trying to marry all these things." It's like, yeah, but don't call it a fucking game if it's not a game.
Yeah, make a game.
Don't be pretentious about
this is
it.
like this is when like David Cage, he really wants to be a Hollywood film director, but he can't.
Yeah.
So he makes games instead. Have you Fahrenheit 9/11, I think it's called, is an awful game, but it is one of those
documentary. I thought you meant the documentary for a minute.
Hang on a minute, Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yeah, that's a mate.
It might not have the 9/11 at the end. It might just be called Fahrenheit. Yes, I'm thinking that's the documentary. I think it's just called Fahrenheit. And it's an interactive story game. One of the earlier sort of iterations of that idea where it actually tries more to be an interactive story, but still has a lot of not point and click, but like, what's that one slightly beyond point and click where you move the figure around, but you're still basically doing point and click things?
Yeah, like the Scum engine stuff or whatever. I've never
that would be a point and click. Yeah, so visual novel would just be text, and you make text-based choices largely, and then point
no.
And click
It's like PlayStation.
Like Broken Sword is a point and click.
Except like Broken Sword 3, where they go into that kind of 3D-ish.
3D, yeah, right.
It's a bit like that. It actually fosters an interesting atmosphere in the game, or at least when I played it. I don't know how well it's held up, but it is one of those very few games that is so bad that not so bad that it's good, but so bad that you get a laugh out of it. Because if you think about it, most of the times when a game is bad, it's just shite. It's very rare that a game can ever, like films, relatively, it's quite common to see a film that's so bad it's good. Like Tiptoes with, I think it's Gary Oldman. It might be Gary Newman. I always get Gary Oldman and Gary Newman.
Well, Gary Newman's a rock star from the 80s.
That's Gary Oldman then.
Gary Oldman's
also,
an actor.
Why is Gary Oldman? I think I heard this on the internet that Gary Oldman is younger than Gary Newman by like a day.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, look that up because that could just be some like misinformation.
Gary Oldman was born 21st of March 1958. You could be close there. Oh, 8th of March 1958 for Gary Newman. There you go. Days
Conspiracy.
apart.
Conspiracy.
Yeah. There are other people called Gary that don't have a birthday around there, though. If they had the same surname.
Old or new man is the,
Yeah, I know.
Newerman. Gary, is there a Gary Newerman and an older man?
Gary Newman's real name isn't Newman,
Oh my God.
He's Gary Anthony James Webb.
I find it weird when celebrities change their name from like a boring name to a different boring name.
Well, it's Newman, N-U-M-A-N. It's meant to be futuristic. But yeah, you can't hear that.
Shit name. It's like changing my name to Andrew Boldy.
It's like that Gary Oldman, he's got kind of a cool name, but
well, Gary Oldman is Sir Gary Leonard Oldman. He's
I feel like I'm copying.
a knight of the realm,
Yeah, Gary Middleman. Midman.
I've lost a thread of myself.
I was watching a video on YouTube about twinning, so like where place names are twinned.
Oh,
and
right,
apparently there's a place called Bland that was twinned with a place called Boring.
Yeah, there's
twinned with a
like
place
that,
called Dull or something like that.
Yeah.
Like a three-way twin.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah. I've been watching videos about driving. That's all I've been doing. In fact, speaking of which, I've got a lesson in 12 hours' time.
Oh. How is your driving going, by the way?
Quite good. Yeah. I'm getting on way better with this driving instructor. No, the other guy wasn't bad. It just wasn't meshing with me and my weirdness. This guy's taking my weirdness on board and sort of, working around it. And yeah, and it's an automatic only, so I'm getting on better with that as well. I'm not having to think about it because that was my biggest technical problem. Was I could not cope with like a junction and going down gears and everything at the same time. It's pointless. I mean, yes.
Well, once all cars are electric, you won't even need to worry about gearboxes anyway.
Well, interestingly enough, Mum's car, as it was, which is the Mini that Dad's driving a lot now, we've been using it way more than it was ever used before because they always drove around in the 4x4 that he's got. Unless Mum was driving, then she would drive the Mini. And I sort of, about a week ago, I was speaking to Alan and I said, how would you feel about trading in the Mini for something else? And I thought he was going to be attached to it because it was Mum's car and things like that. And he went, oh yeah, it's an awful girly thing, let's get rid of it. It is, it's horrible. The problem I'm having with it is it's called a Mini, but it's a BMW. It's one of those new chunky ones. And I can't, because I've been learning to drive in a specific car. Obviously, the instructor's got little bits of tape and everything so people can get their reference points for manoeuvres and stuff. But even without that, there's a few things that I can work out in another car from what the instructor's told me in his car. And this, like the worst one, well, two really bad things about it. Three. One of them is it's very low down. It's very, very low to the ground. You're like that in the car. It's not like you're not sitting up like that. You're sort of a pilot seat type thing. The other problem is that the visibility in the back window is terrible. It's postage stamp. It's one of those with the two doors that swing shut like a minivan. used to do.
Oh
Although these are
the Clubman or something.
Yeah, it's a mini Clubman, mini Cooper Clubman or something it's called. It's got like a bazillion different mini related names to make, to sell it, even though it's not a mini at all. So that's so the visibility of the back's terrible. The third thing that's really wrong with it is it's all chunky and curvy. So like the wing mirror, say you've got a wing mirror, right? On most cars, the actual, there'll be like a surround, say. That's too big, actually. That's too big anyway. But there'd be a surround that's a bit bigger than the mirror. Mm-hmm. The Mini's got these huge, bulbous, sticky out things. And I cannot make a reference point, because one of the reference points I get for parking, especially forward parking, is the bottom of the wing mirror. And for turning, it's a good one for turning as well. Where the wing mirror is, if that's in the middle of the road that you're turning into, that's pretty close to the right position. Little things like that. But with the Mini, I've tried to even though I'm sitting in the passenger seat, I'm obviously having to reverse everything. But you just can't. It's basically its own blind spot. It's fucking huge and takes up so much space. And the front of the car is all bubbly, so you can't really get references for lines and see where the edge of things are or anything. It's horrible.
That's amazing, because when I learned to drive, I was all about that. And at some point, I was just like, now just put the car in the thing.
Yeah, you will by experience. But if I'm going to be continuing to learn to drive with my one of my mates sitting in or whatever, I don't want to learn to drive in a car that I'm not going to use eventually anyway. So, and also I'd prefer to drive something that's different. But also, none of it. So it turns out neither of us like that car. And we both thought we were hanging on to it for Mum's benefit, or, for the memory of Mum or something. So what I'm looking at, and so I mean nothing to Drew probably, because he's as much into cars as I am. But what I'm looking at is a Toyota Yaris.
Oh, my parents have one of them. They're good. They are.
Pardon?
I've heard of that.
You've heard of it, yeah. It's a hybrid, self-charging hybrid, and it's also like, a normal car shape. It's not like weird extraneous bits sticking out all over the place.
Yeah, I drive my parents.
That's what I'm learning in. I'm learning in a Toyota. Also, Alan's 4x4 is a Toyota. It's 17 years old, and he said, he was talking about it the other day. He said the thing about it that he likes is he could leave it in the driveway for a week, just drive the Mini around. And one morning, if he needs a 4x4, he knows he goes in there, turns the key, and it's going to start. It's been rock solid reliable for 17 years, and it's been all over the world as well, because with his ham radio, he used to do competitions where they tow gear to island, off to an island in Cyprus or something, so they'd be driving through Europe with this trailer and then ferrying it across to the island and things. So it's been it's not like it hasn't been used. It's just been so so reliable. And a few people have spoken to also the insurance in the Mini would be about 10% more than it would be for something like this, because even though it's called a Mini, it's not. It's a chunky big thing. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
A lot of them are tall.
Yeah, it's tall, but not from that's from the outside though. From the inside, it's not.
The new style Minis, even from the beginning of the new style Minis, they're not mini.
No, they're not mini, and they look horrible.
Normal size cars.
Big bubbly thing. I mean, I quite like curvy to some extent, but we had a Mini when I was a teenager. Me and Mum had a Mini, but it was a proper Mini,
Oh, they're so nice, but I have grown to accept the 2001 Mini or whatever it was, but now you Minis are they're like larger than most hatchbacks. They're like larger than a Polo or a Golf or something.
Yeah. This is a long car, and it just sticks out everywhere. It's just it's uncomfortable, and it's not very comfy, and But if
I will respect. I like cars.
I don't care about cars at all. I'm only learning about things like insurance and the insurance classifications of cars and
but cars like that. Safety, don't obviously. Look like safety obviously very important. But like cars that look a bit different, I kind of have a bit of a likening for like, and you're gonna fucking hate me for this one.
Oh, I know what he's going to say.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a good car. I'm not saying it's a good car. The Cybertruck.
But you like that it looks different.
Saying,
yeah, no, I get.
Well, it doesn't look different if you
look.
look at a riot van from apartheid South Africa. That's exactly what it is. The design.
But it looks different from most
Is
cars
it?
on
Yeah.
the road. I do get that.
The design is it's a riot van from apartheid South Africa, apartheid era South Africa. That's the shape of it. That's what it is. It's basically basically a Nazi symbol, essentially. But I would never buy a Volkswagen, and I'd never buy a Tesla. I've never had either of those. But I mean, Volkswagens are also. The other thing is Volkswagens are entirely unreliable, by all accounts. I know a few people that have had them; they've been in trouble. And also, obviously, the Nazi start of it all, and also the Teslas. So many horror stories about safety with them. You know, people getting locked in them when they'll crash off a bridge or something. You know, and it's not too high or whatever, so they could just get out, but the doors won't. Things will stop working when it has an accident.
You need the door opening DLC.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the kind of
subscription.
Yeah, that's what it kind of is.
Yeah,
you did. Oh, you hadn't known that then.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a very deliberate Nazi symbol. That's what it was. That's why he was involved with that one because. Anyway, but they apparently not just any Tesla, but the Cybertruck particularly just sort of randomly catches fire and shit. You know, it's a terrible machine. But I wouldn't have one just on principle anyway. I wouldn't have a Tesla.
Oh no! I'm not. Yeah, no. You know, I'm not.
Just like I wouldn't buy an IBM computer. I wouldn't buy, something from. Boss.
What about Hugo
IG
Boss?
Farben? No, I wouldn't buy it.
No. What about IKEA?
I don't really know much about their history, so I'm probably safer.
Founded by a Nazi. Founded by an absolute.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Tesla wasn't founded by a Nazi. Tesla was founded by tech guys who then got fucked over by a very rich guy who had never done anything in his life except make money from his dad's fascism. Again, he made his money from fascism. His dad got rich out of the apartheid system, and
he stole that emerald mine fair and square.
He stole it fair and square.
Those child labourers wanted to be there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I definitely try, and I mean, even now I try and avoid like products. I mean, it's not easy. And I've heard you say that you appreciate my attempt to, commit to principles and stuff, but it's not easy. It's like we were talking about, we live in this world, and
you can only do the best you can do, right? Like it's
but it's quite, some of it's quite easy. I mean, not using Amazon anymore. At first I thought, shit, am I going to end up having to sort of, crawl back and no, I've just found that if you look for things and get past the first page of results on a search, there's like UK shops that do this, that, and the next thing, because the cheap, two things are beyond Amazon's sort of capture audience type situation, model, is that things are quite often cheaper if you go somewhere else because they don't have to pay the Amazon cut. And also the things that aren't cheaper are generally better anyway. They're generally, it'll be something that'll last you a couple of years, not 6 months or 3 months or something, And then you go, it was cheap on Amazon, so it doesn't matter if it breaks after a couple of months,
No, I use that, like, you can use Amazon just for the search because they got reviews and stuff on it, and then look up the product somewhere else.
I would never trust an online review. It's like people, I see people advertising like, we've got X number of stars on Facebook, or what's the other one? Trustpilot. It's like, you would trust somebody's score on Trustpilot. They might as well make up any number themselves and just tell you that. It's absolutely unfounded. There's, and they'll say, you got the Trustpilot site, we do not accept payments for better results. Well, yeah, you don't, but you don't do anything to stop bot farms mass, putting reviews and ratings on. So, it is bought, it's just not bought directly from their site. It's just absolutely it's nonsense. It's nonsense.
I think I don't know. I seem to do like well enough looking at the Amazon reviews. I don't know. Do they?
If you get a detailed review, yes. If you get an actual review, but people don't look at reviews. Yeah. People look at numbers of stars and all that sort of thing. They don't look at the details.
I tend to trust. I buy stuff rarely, so it doesn't really matter. But I tend to trust them. On aggregate. I think like there's the things that are obviously shit that have just been botted, but then there's the things that have got like so many reviews that like they can't afford to bot that.
Yeah, I suppose there's some of that. But yeah. So talking, what was the start? Yeah, so Amazon was actually an easier one than I thought it was going to be.
And piracy solves a lot of the of the Disney.
Well, even when I never did subscribe to Disney. I would never. Yeah, again, that's a company I would never pay money to for anything, or Microsoft, and I've never willingly paid money to Microsoft for anything directly myself, except for one thing. And I got it cheap because I had the shop at the time, and it was an Xbox 360 controller, because people were raving about it, and I thought somebody bought one from me, and I got to have a bit of a feel. I thought, this actually fits my hand quite well. Yeah, I might have a go at that. So I got one. But anyway, that's the only time I've ever willingly and knowingly paid money to Microsoft, was to buy an Xbox 360 controller. And possibly, actually, maybe some software that was under their label, That's probably, so not much, but anyway. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh yeah, Israel's been a harder one because so many companies have just like kissed the ring of Trump, and they're all part of it, So some of the worst one is the fast food stuff. It's like, I fancied getting that, but that's a big chain, and they're giving money to Israel, so. But I've managed it though. To be honest, I've managed it, so it's been quite interesting. I've been trying a lot more local shops, local takeaways and stuff, and I've kind of got into a different set of habits, really.
Out in the sticks here, there aren't that many takeaways, so we've inadvertently been relatively ethical there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is, I mean, it's. This is quite a rural area. But it's a couple of medium-y sort of towns that are sort of conglomerated. It's not really a big place, but it's and it's a lot of rural little villages just outside all this. Before you get to like Bath, which obviously is a city, but the problem is that the town centres have been corrupted by basically corrupt councillors. And there was a whole drive about maybe 10 years ago to try and basically shut down the more bohemian places. The places where the music was held and arty things were going on, and the pubs that had things on that the old farts didn't approve of. And of course,
I thought councillors loved that shit.
No, they got rid of it. They got it shut down. They got it done under the guise of like an anti-drugs thing, where the two pubs that were the worst drugs places in the whole of our area, but happened to have as their regulars, some of the councillors. What a surprise. They never even got looked at by this drugs raid thing over all things, So they shut, they obviously found drugs at the music pubs, It's not really, it's shooting fish in a barrel a bit. And they just basically put measures in place to make it harder and harder for them to stay in business. It's like, right, you've got to have, it's these pubs that were like barely managing to run, but still managing to put on like live music and stuff. And then they would like force them to have door staff, so they'd have to pay for professional door staff to come out of the city, where none of the other places in town had to have that. Places that had fights every night and wrecked the town centre on a regular basis. Now they're fine because the councillors drinking there, the councillors drinking there. And the worst place for drugs now is no longer the worst place for drugs, actually. Interestingly enough, it's where a lot of people have ended up congregating again, which is interesting. But the upshot of all this is they managed to shut down the two main arty pubs, where there was live music, quizzes. I ran a poker night at one of them, completely legally, and things like that. They got them shut down, and then some of the more, slightly more liberal places, more liberal places, were sort of filling the gap for a while. But then some other little, weird legislation and local level came out, and it basically pushed a couple of them under. And then COVID hit, and then Suddenly, right in the middle of our town now, the town next to me now, we have a Weatherspoons. And all the fucking councillors go in there all the time. Which is why the pub that was the worst pub for drugs and trouble has actually got quiet and decent again. So, silver linings, I suppose. But yeah, there was a concerted effort, and I didn't even know you could do that. I don't know why I didn't realise you could do this, but concerned citizens created and paid a fund to mount a police operation. So you can actually pay for police to have to do something. Like literally, it's a legal thing. They can make them, if they can get the council and the police to agree on something and find the funding, they'll run an operation apparently. And this operation was basically to shut down these pubs by, the cover of finding drugs, even though there was much worse places. And so,
no idea you could do that.
Small town corruption. I don't know. I mean, apparently it's legal.
Something?
Pardon?
Can we crowdfund arresting Blair?
But the thing is, the police have to also agree with it and accept it, and the council have to be involved. So it was basically concerned citizens, the type of concerned citizens that moan about your dog sniffing their hedges or whatever, these kind of, the gammons and all that.
It's sniffing their head.
Homeowners Association, isn't that what they call it?
Yeah, that's what they have in America, these homeowner association things, and it's, apparently they can do that. They can, if they get the agreement of the council can then go to the police and say, can you do this if we can fund it? So the council, technically, they didn't, but they probably did actually use public money for this as well. But it was mostly a private thing, and I remember at one point I knew some of the people involved, and it was shady as fuck. But anyway, what they basically did is paid for the police force to concentrate on a couple of pubs, find drugs, and shut them down. That's essentially what they did. Despite the fact that there's like a dozen other pubs in the area that they could have looked at as well, But there you go. Corruption is not just in Westminster, it's at every bloody level. In fact, my mum and my stepdad, not Alan, but who she was married to before that, they were councillors for years, and they just, in the end, they just couldn't take it anymore. They're like, nah, there's no point in this. It's all just self-interest and everything, So they've all learned their lessons from the top down. Which is why democracy just seems to be dead, really, to me. Anyway, on that cheerful note.
On that note.
We've been on for a while, and we should probably fill in some. I mean, we've mentioned stuff about this series, but we haven't really gone into it.
I think we've wrapped it up. They should have quit The Expanse at season 3. Amazon killed it.
Fuck you, Amazon.
Yeah, some interesting stories, but they didn't really follow them through. I mean, there's some good actiony bits, and but nothing that's as up to the standard of previous.
It's still, like I say, it's still better than most TV.
Oh yeah. This series by itself is better than lots and lots of other television that you'll ever see.
Yeah, but also
it's disappointing when you've seen the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
I watch about 1 to 2 hours of TV a night, so you can say it's good for TV, but
this better.
What I mean to say is that few hours that I watch TV, it doesn't have to be good, but it has to be worth the time.
Yeah.
That it has to be worth that time, and I don't. There's a reason that we're knocking out basically the bulk of season 6 in one episode now, right?
We've got. Yeah, it wasn't just us running out of time. It was also the. I'm trying to scroll the Cybertruck onto the screen so people can see it. Not the Cybertruck.
I didn't know I was a fascist. That was completely accidental.
It always is. That's how it starts. But you've got to commit now.
Yeah, that's it. You've done it now.
Rules.
So it's like that episode of Father Ted where it's, oh, here you're a racist now, Father. Should we all be racist now? It's like because the local priest's doing something that they think that's what they should be doing. That's the new directive from the Catholic Church.
No, I mean, just to set the record straight, Elon Musk is an awful human being, and we should have killed him when he was a baby.
Whoa.
So that's the end of this episode. It's a Heil Hitler from me. See you next time.
Should we talk a little bit about
from you? Sorry?
Soil.
Sorry, what did you say, Chris? I overheard because of laughing.
Should we tell the lovely folks at home what any ideas that we've had for a future endeavor?
Yeah, possibly.
We've been throwing around ideas about other stuff to do, because at one point you were thinking, or you two were thinking about the idea of like, is there another show that we could move on to or anything like that? And I feel like we've done the format of TV completed now, but we can move into the world of high literature. And
like,
hang on a minute, I've got to get this up. What's the okay?
If it's 50 Shades of Grey, I'm not in.
It's not 50 Shades of Grey. Drew, do you have it?
Similar narratively, though.
Similar narratively, yeah.
The Marquis.
Where did I save it? Where did I save it? It's not in my book.
I'm worried,
folder.
folks. I'm very worried.
Download.
Come on, haven't you?
Do you want the name of it? What you after?
Yeah. Just read out the name.
Hang on, I've got to see if I've got it first. It was a PDF, wasn't it? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's PDF.
How to make white women fall in love with you over. There might be more of a title. Over.
Yeah.
Okay, the title on the actual page is different. How to make white woman fall in love with you from online chat. It's
the title itself begs so many questions.
Essentially, a guide for African gentlemen who trick older European women into falling in love with them and sending them money.
I see. So this the Nigerian prince scam in a different form, is it?
It's 70% jokes you should tell them that will get them dripping. And the jokes.
I didn't want anything about older women dripping. No.
I think one of the jokes made me laugh. Maybe.
Okay. Well, I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. How long is this, though? I don't know if I want to read.
Oh, it's fine. It's readable.
Yeah.
Assuming I can read to a primary school level at least.
It's not a book by any means.
No,
there's about 4 paragraphs
in
it, and then lots of lists of jokes.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Basically, right? I can give you the synopsis of it now, right? So here's how you.
Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should just leave that as a teaser.
Well, basically, so what you do is you tell them lots of nice things that they want to hear, and here's 4 pages of jokes. Goodbye.
I'll give you. I randomly selected a joke from a random page. I mean, there's little chat up line type jokes. So, okay, if the world was made out of chicken, you would be a hot wing. So they're in that perfect sweet spot of not being funny and also not even quite making sense.
Right. Okay. So the kind of line that if a woman did fall for it, you'd be looking into care for her.
Okay,
is not mentally competent. If she thought that was.
Can you take me to the bakery because I want a cutie pie like you, and cutie pie is capitalized for some reason.
Okay. I mean, I feel we can get some mileage out of this. I was worried you were both turning into sort of Andrew Tate type characters or something.
Was that one? Was that what you said? Like people falling for it, but there was that. I think possibly Ghosty showed me. It was some like middle-aged French woman.
Well, he's a complete bloody. He's yeah. Okay, I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, Ghost is back.
Middle-aged French woman got scammed by somebody. I can't remember. It was a very famous actor. It was like somebody basically pretending to be like Brad Pitt or something,
right? And
her believing them that Brad Pitt had fallen in love with them, and it went on for like months. It was
I mean, these are the kind of people when it happens the other way around. They're going to try to assassinate a president for Jodie Foster or something.
I mean, I'm always up for presidents being
assassinated. There's no loss with any of them, but
give it a crack. Lone Wolves, go for it. Is the call to action.
Well,
for
I'm technically.
viewers?
I mean, I did have a. I don't want to get into detail with this conversation and who it was with, but I had a conversation.
Goodbye to that job.
I did have a conversation with somebody, and it was, it was a serious conversation. I wasn't like bragging or boasting or trying to, but it was like the reason that I don't have big relationships very often is, I could just go to the pub and pick up women. I'm pretty sure I could manage that. I'm not, I'm charming enough, and I know. But I feel like it's the reason that I can play poker is I can sort of switch my brain off to worrying about the other person because we're all in the same boat. So taking money off somebody else for believing something I'm selling, if you like, when it's poker, it's fine. When it's people's feelings, I can't. I just couldn't. I can't really do. I know I could. I know I'm capable of it, and I'm sure on occasion, especially when I was younger, I probably did. Over promise and under deliver. That wasn't sexual. That was just
under deliver.
Hey, but it's just yeah. I mean, it would be. If I walk into a pub that's busy, I could probably spot the woman that I could chat up successfully, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
yeah. I'm. My family are con men. Basically, not my mum's family, but my birth father's family are con artists, and it's the thing I hate about myself, but it's made me good at poker, or reasonable at poker, and some other stuff, and made me a bit of a performer as well, to some extent, where I can do things like this. I've got the confidence to do this kind of thing. But I feel that anything where you're actually taking advantage of another person, trying to manipulate another person out with, that's not the game they're playing. If that makes sense. If you're playing poker with people, you all know what you're doing.
Agree to what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think that people say they talk about all these pickup lines, but I can imagine not that one because it sounds awful, but I can imagine lots of them working. These, and it's not. It's
people
not brain surgery.
And want to believe in romance and magic in their life. Yeah, I don't.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I'm a grown man who believes all that fairy tale nonsense about love and romance.
I could easily be scammed. Yeah, I want to believe there's magic in the world. And anyway, should we save this when we're talking about the thing?
Yeah, because it's much more relevant to
next
that.
Episode.
Excellent. All right,
I think I'm going to get. I think off the back of this video, I'm going to get contacted by a movie star.
Just before we wrap it up, though, I came into possession of this book. This book has a little bit of a backstory. So, a friend of Rosie's works at a dating company called Hinge, and as part of working at Hinge, you get briefed on all of the romance scams going around.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
So this was like sort of doing the rounds.
So sort of vetting people, sort of thing, being able to vet people.
Vetting people, just keep making sure that they're user protecting your customers, all that kind of stuff. So they knew. I don't know why I'm pinging so much. So they're being so they have to be up to date on all the latest scams and all that kind of stuff, basically. So this was doing the rounds of, this is a book that exists, just familiarize yourself with it. And it was kind of funny because it's really bad, it's just basically it's a guide to how to pick up or con women, but it's 4 pages of here's how you do it, and then someone's just copy and pasted in 12 pages of jokes. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. That can be our next. So we're probably going to have a slightly different channel.
Oh, wait a minute. Rosie's just texted me. It's not Hinge, it's Field.
I
thought that Hinge didn't make much sense. Field, playing the field or whatever. That makes more sense.
Hinge is a real dating.
Is it? What's the connection there?
A lot of Hinge opens a thing, memes about Hinge dates or something.
I'm so out of all this.
Anyway, let's go on. Yeah.
Oh, Field is the alternative dating site. So it's swingers and group sex and polyamory and maybe BDSM or something. Or, you know,
all kinds of deviants.
Yes, all kinds of deviants.
Oh God. Disclaimer.
Hey, and no moral judgment.
We're Nazis now. It's a popular demographic. Okay, we're going after.
We should go after that demographic. Yeah.
And by go after, you mean punch them in the face.
Do you feel the white race is under attack?
It is here. Yeah. So, well, thank you everybody who's watched the Space Virgins all the way through.
Yep.
Or enjoyed bits of it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ghosty.
Yeah, Ghosty's our reviewer. Hope you've enjoyed it. I think tonight.
Oh, shout out to friend of the show, Carla, as well.
Hello, Carla. Hello, Rosie, as well.
Hello, Rosie. Yeah. Is Rosie listening to you, and that's why she's texting what you're talking about?
She's in the next room over, yeah.
Because I was thinking, wait a minute, this isn't live, this is recording. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, so thank you to everybody for watching Space Virgins. Sorry we're finished, because obviously we've finished the show, but we are going to do a similar show with, as Chris and Drew have discussed, with different ideas. So we'll probably have a different channel for it, just so we can keep everything encapsulated. But basically, it will be a similar bit of nonsense where we just basically start conversations around the thing that we've chosen to talk about. And possibly the next one or the first one might be this.
And also, we managed to survive not getting bought out by Amazon. So give
Disney. It was the Disney buyout we were worried about, wasn't it?
No, that happened.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because obviously
that's why we don't have to actually do
different guys. Yeah.
Well, we're just done by AI now. We can just chill out.
Restart. What? Oh wow, that's
you're doing it better than me. Anyway, shut the fuck up. Can we end this? I'm hungry.